Hey, welcome. This is the first of our tech help videos for students. We're going to start with something as simple as Gmail. Many students might be accessing Gmail on the Chromebooks, but not quite sure how to log in. Others don't know about all the tools available to them. So the first thing I want to talk about is how somebody signs in. At school, you may have gone away with typing something like this, hitting the next button, and going from there. The problem with that is this little add-on extension right here becomes really problematic. Right now, it's assuming that address I typed in, the KM19991, is a gmail.com extension, which is not what we use. So anytime we go forward with this type of stuff, we need to make sure we're using the @BRSD extension. I'm going to click out here, I'm going to hit use another account, and here I would be adding the BRSD extension to log in. So I've popped into my Gmail now and just want to show off a couple of things. I do know that many of you have strong email skills, but I just want to show off some of the features that not everyone might know. So the first thing I want to do is point out that there's not a lot of options readily available on screen. However, if I pop this open, you'll see I can change my font, I can change the size, I can bold it. I also have options to indent, add bulleted lists, strike through, and more here. I have the undo and redo buttons as well. I find this menu gets in my way, so I just click this button and get rid of it. Another option that I use often is the attach files feature. Now, for many of you, you would have just used this button here, insert files using Drive before, because you're on our Chromebooks on our network. But if you're on a desktop at home, this is going to be your option most of the time. So for me, maybe I want to send my grade 11s something about World War One. I just double click and in it goes. Now, if the file I'm uploading is particularly large, a video, a PowerPoint filled with a lot of pictures, then that is going to upload to my drive first, and I'll have to change the permissions when I send the email. So when I share that out to whomever, that will be a prompt that follows later on. Another option that I want to show you is this set of three dots here. These three dots have features that are really advanced for the most part, but this one is important probably more so for high school students. The request read receipt functions by sending a follow-up email of sorts to the person that receives it, a prompt that they have to push, yes, I've read this. Now, this isn't useful for 99% of what you're going to do, but let's say that you send an essay into your teacher that had a deadline of noon today. You might want to request the read receipt, so that way you know they received it. And that gives you some insurance as well. If the teacher's like, well, I didn't get that. This might also be good if you're sending, a time-sensitive form to the office to register for, a diploma exam that's been canceled or something like that. So always check out the three dots and go from there. Now, there's more features beyond just writing an email. On the right side here, you'll notice I have a little pane, and the thing that's most useful to you, a feature I like, is this taskbar. It allows you to create a list of tasks that you hope to accomplish. So if you're the type that makes a to-do list, this is a digital way you can do that right in your email, staying in the same ecosystem. And for those of you keeping track at home, I've only completed one task. My task that I completed was to set up tasks. I personally just like writing things that I can cross off the list. It's a good feeling. I'm going to X out of that. And I also am connected to a calendar. The calendar I'm connected to is a staff calendar, but I also have my personal calendar in it. So you'll notice that today it tells me that we're on a Thursday schedule. So it's right there. I don't have to open another window. I have the options right in front of me. And if I don't like this, I can get rid of it completely as well, pulling it out with the show side panel option. Now, as we move into email and a digital world, I suspect you might be getting loads of emails from your instructors, from your friends, etc. I like to categorize my emails. So you'll notice I've got a social 9 tab here. I've got a social 20, 30, sports performance. If you go to the left here and you hit more, you'll scroll down a little bit and you'll find a button that says create new label. So I'm going to go ahead and create a label, and it allows me to create a name for it. I can give it a header. So maybe I have social 20, but then I have a sub label for related issue 2 work. So let's just say I created one of them. And when I get to my email repository, I want to change how it looks, right? I want to know at a glance what email I have. Well, I'm going to change this email. I'm going to label it as social 20. And you'll notice that there is this lovely little red icon now. If I switch that, if I take social 20 off and I give it social 9, it's now kind of an aqua color. I'll get rid of social 9. We'll use social 5 as a bright green. So if you want to change that for your own sake, what you do is you come over here and you'll see these 3 dots. We'll change the social 5 one. And I can change my label color. So I can give it whatever option I want. It's now a nice blue. And I can also change, if I want this tab showing up. So right now I'm not actively teaching Social 7. So what I might do is I might have it in the list if unread, or I might hide it. I can remove the label altogether. Another thing I want to point out is just this ability to star something. I use stars kind of like a bookmark. So if there's an email that I know I want to return to, I am going to star it, and it creates its own priority folder up here for me to look at. Now, I'm not going to go into my folder because there's obviously sensitive information in there, but these would be the top things that would show up in it once I've started it. If I want to remove something from being starred, I just click unclick it. Okay. If I want to do a whole bunch of stuff, I don't really need all of these help desk emails. Some of these go back quite a way. I can bulk tweak them. So by clicking all of them, I can archive them. I can delete them all at once. I can mark them all as unread. And you'll notice over here, I went up to 37 unread messages. And importantly, I can bulk mark something as read. So I can go out like that. If I want to get rid of my bulk collection, I'm just going to click this button and it will deselect all of those for me. Those are some of the options that you might want to use while you are in the Gmail ecosystem. I just want to show one final option that's available to you, and that's the signature. Some of you are going to be communicating with teachers and others in completely new ways, and it's helpful at times to have a signature on your email account so people actually know who you are. I know it sounds bad, but a whole bunch of your emails are just random letters and number combinations. And we might get confused as to who you are, especially if you have the same initials as someone else, because our Battle River account doesn't always show the name. It just shows the number letter combination. So if you click the gear on the top right, you'll get into your settings, and we'll want to click the settings button. We want to be in general, and we'll scroll down as far as we can go into here. And we can just change what this message is. So I can, this will be my default message, teacher at Bashaw School. But maybe I'm sending, a message to another basketball coach. I might add in a line in my email that says head coach, senior boys basketball. By adding it here, This line is only kept for this one email. By adding it in here, this line always shows up unless I remove it. So that's just another option available for you, especially if you're working with people that you haven't worked before. That's all I've got right now. This is your crash course on Gmail. If you have any questions, let the school know, and we'll create a subsequent video to help you out with that. Thanks for watching.